21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST, the last one before our long winter break. And boy, do we have a very busy week upcoming in Room 21 and really at Barrett. First of all, I would like to recognize our Rockstar of the Week for the week. That would be Naomi Mesfin. She's had some incredible effective effort and really worked hard in her writing specifically. And I've seen the incredible growth, and I'm just really proud of the effective effort that she poured into that. And so she was named the Rockstar of the Week for this past week. Tomorrow, the Rockstars will actually be practicing for their graduation. And then on Tuesday is their graduation at 9:30 a.m. in the activity room. All are welcome to attend. I hope to see many of you there. Students will be reading their essays. There will be a guest speaker. The students will be receiving their certificate of completion from Deputy Scoggins. It'll be a really great ceremony for everyone. So I hope to see as many of you as can make it on Tuesday. And Kyle Hinken from our class will actually be reading his DARE essay to the entire audience on Tuesday. On Friday, the entire Barrett Academy will be traveling to Hartfield Retirement Center down on Route 17. We will be just really playing some games, giving some crafts to some of the residents and practicing our conversation skills. There's going to be a permission form that's coming home tomorrow that will need to be signed so that the students are able to attend. We're probably going to be leaving right after the announcements on Friday morning, and we'll be back by about 10:45 a.m., so no need for a packed lunch or anything like that, and it's no cost to you. We'll be taking school buses down. Just remind your scholar to wear their Barrett Academy shirt, their t-shirt, on Friday so they can represent us well. We're going to be practicing some conversational skills and things like that throughout the week as well, so we can be well prepared for that. We're really excited about it. Also, on Friday is the last day to send in hats, gloves, scarves, mittens, all of those great things for our winter tree to spread some warmth to those around us. So if you have anything, if you know a neighbor who might be willing to contribute something, we would love to put those onto the tree in our main lobby. The Rockstars have been working so hard on advertising it throughout the school, and I'm just really proud of all of the service that they've been pouring in throughout the last 3 weeks during Academy time. So we've had so much going on. On Friday afternoon, we will be watching Ice Age Continental Drift and having some snacks. I did send home a permission form on Friday that will need to be signed only if you do not want your child to watch Ice Age. It's just school policy to send home a permission form when the movie is rated PG. Ice Age is rated PG, so if you do not want your child to watch that movie, you have to send the form back. If you're okay with them watching it, you do not have to return anything. And as going right along with that, we'll have some snacks on Friday, so I decided to set up a Sign Up Genius link that you can get to from the newsletter, the weekly email that I'm sending, or from our Class Fusion page. I just put down a few items so that we can have a few snacks on Friday. It's not mandatory to bring anything to eat, for your child to bring anything to share with the class, but I thought I would put a few things on there. If you're interested, go ahead and visit that. And finally, there will be a permission form sent home that is just asking, it's being sent to all of the Academy kids. We're going to start really working on our Academy blog that we shared with you at the beginning of the year. And if you give permission for your child's image to be displayed on that blog or their voice to be displayed on the blog, we won't be publishing any names or anything like that or video, but the form will be sent home. It's very self-explanatory. Just check the areas that you allow or check I do not agree to any of this, and we're totally okay with that. We just need those sent back. Try to get them back by Friday of this week. One final announcement before I send you off to the strategy session would include the fact that interims were sent home on Friday. I sent home 2 of each. I sent home 2 of the Stafford County Public School interim, the academic interim, and I sent home 2 of the Barrett Academy interim. You may keep 1 at home, and I just need 1 copy back. If you have any questions, concerns about that, do not hesitate to contact me. Whew, a lot of announcements. Anyway, I'm going to send you over to the strategy session here in a second. I hope that you all have a great holiday season with your families at home, and I will see you back in the new year, in 2014, with our newest podcast coming to you on January 2nd. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Now I'm sending you over to the strategy session. Give me some feedback on them. Is it helpful, etc., as I tell you every week, and I'll see you on the other end. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar family. So one of the major things I want to show you this week is actually computation of decimals using multiplication and division. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been practicing on adding, subtracting, and now multiplying, and soon dividing decimals. And the process is done in so many different ways that it just takes a lot of practice so that we can get a hang of it before we can become real masters with it. So with a little bit of practice, we're going to become pros. So I have a couple of problems on here for multiplication and a couple of problems for division. I'm not going to solve them all today, but I am going to show you one example so that you can practice these at home. So here you'll see 4 5/10 times 9. Now, one of the joys about multiplying decimals, unlike adding and subtracting, is that the places do not have to be lined up. Notice that I have all of my places lined up along the right side. Okay, so that's going to make it much easier for me to multiply. So my places are lined up right there. And for a second, let's just think that this is 45 times 9. Do not pay any attention to the decimal whatsoever. So if I just go about this, my normal business, since we've been doing in 3rd grade, I would take 5 times 9, which is 45, place my 5 down, carry my 4, and then 9 times 4, which equals 36, and add on 4, which would equal 40. So 45 times 9 is 405, and then all that I really have to do is, since I have a decimal, is jump in 1. There is 1 place after the decimal point. There's no decimal point here, so that means I need to jump in 1, and my decimal goes here. So my final answer is 40 5/10. Okay, now say that I had 2 decimals here, I would just count in both of the numbers. How many digits are behind the decimal? That's how many you have to move in. Okay, so that's multiplication of decimals. Later in the week, we're going to be looking at division of decimals. You'll see that down here. Just to briefly look at this would mean 45 divided by 8/10. So that essentially means I would write down 45 right here, divided by, and we normally practice actually moving our hand like this so that we can get this in our mind, divided by 8/10, because the rock stars will be, and I think anyone will be tempted to put 45 here in the divisor position and 8/10 here. So it has a very big impact on our final answer depending on where we line up those numbers. So for a second, once again, pay no attention whatsoever to the decimal, and then you're just going to divide this out. So how many times does 8 go into 45? Well, I know that 5 times 8 is 40, so that's going to pull me up pretty close. Bring my 40 down. I take 5 times 8, which is 40. Now I'm going to subtract it. I have 5 left. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to have to put our decimal for the time being, because now we have to get into decimal territory. Okay, and then I just drop down my 5, and then etc. So how many times does 8 go into 50? Well, that would 8 times 6 is 48, which is much closer than 8 times 5. So let me scroll down real quick on this. Ooh, I might be running out of room here. So 48 would go here, and it just continues out. The thing with decimals is, since I'm running out of space here, is you just count how many places are in, and you start where the decimal's at. So the decimal was here, and then you bump that over. And since here we ran out of places, we just bring that up. Okay? So, multiplication and division of decimals. 2 things we're practicing on this week, especially the multiplication. I think based on our schedule, we might only be able to spend a little bit of time on division of decimals, unfortunately, and then we'll continue it when we come back from break. Now I'm going to take you onto our website, and let me just erase that really quickly. Here you'll find a couple of different things. Number 1, for science, you're going to find our science study video. Our test is tomorrow. I did place a video up here online that I created today that will help the rock stars welcome to study for their science assessment. So that is available there in orange. Our weekly VODCAST is here. As I was talking earlier in the video, right here you'll find the Sign Up Genius.
and the snacks that I'm asking for our Friday movie and snack. Please make sure those permission forms get turned in if you are not permitting your son or daughter to view the video. And if you come down here, I have a couple of other great resources for you to use, and these can even be extended over into the break. Obviously, number one under the links is DigitWiz. DigitWiz is an incredible resource to use over the break to practice multiplication, division, all of those great fact fluency items that we need to continue to master and make more mental. Also, for tomorrow's science assessment, you'll find a lot of the rock cycle study materials that the students have really been coming to love. It's been working well. One final thing that I want to show you this week, if you look here under what we're doing in writing, we are working on our advertising challenge, which you can ask your son or daughter about, but we're also working on descriptive language. So if I take you over to this video, this is actually the video that I showed the students, and that they viewed about 3 times. They took notes on, they practiced some note-taking strategies, and now they're actually having to write it descriptively as a newscast based on what they saw. Because we're really working on, well, the imagery in this video was incredible, but how can you put that into just solely words? And so I'm just going to show you a little bit of this. I'm going to have a link available on our Class Fusion page that I'll post here in a second after I'm finished making the video, so you can watch it at home. And you can practice this type of thing at home. Your son or daughter could be watching something on TV, watching a movie, watching a TV show, have them take notes on it, and then have them transfer it to a descriptive piece of writing. It really will help them to see how vivid they have to make the details in their writing in order to convey the point to the writer. So just stay tuned here for a second and watch a bit of the video.
ถ้าพูดถึงทีมฟุตบอลของเราคงต้องย้อนกลับไปที่วันแรกที่นี่ชาวบ้านชอบดูฟุตบอลกันมากแต่ไม่มีใครเคยเล่นหรอกก็อย่างที่เห็นเรากินนอนอยู่บนน้ำมาแต่ไหนแต่ไรแล้วเพราะที่นี่ไม่มีผืนดินสักนิดกีฬาอย่างเดียวที่เล่นกันได้คือแข่งเรือไม่ก็โม้กันเรื่องปลาที่จับได้วันนั้นแหละความคิดเล็กๆก็เกิดขึ้นพวกเราคิดตั้งทีมฟุตบอลขึ้นมาแต่ชาวบ้านก็คิดว่าพวกเราบ้าเด็กพวกนี้ส่งเสียงอะไรกันปาเปิ้ลหนีหมดแล้วเราตั้งทีมบอลเราจะเป็นแชมป์โลกมีแต่ทะเลกันพี่กับทีมตกหมึก
So 2 things that you guys can probably notice right off the bat is the fact that this is in another language, so the students have to read the subtitles and look at the amazing imagery. And secondly, the fact that the entire movie is centered around the story of this soccer team in Thailand, and they live on a floating village, and the scenery around is incredible. And in order to convey this through writing, the rock stars are really going to have to work on that descriptive detail, and that's something we're working on this week. But I'm just showing you this so that you can see that this can be extended to any part in the home. I mean, anytime you're watching something or reading something, it can be recreated through writing using that descriptive detail. So if you find a few free moments over break, maybe towards the waning days of break when your son or daughter is just sitting around not sure what to do, this would be a great exercise to do at home, to practice their writing, fluency. A really great strategy. Now I'm going to send you back over to Mr. Reichert in person to wrap up the VODCAST for the week. Okay, Rockstar families, I hope that the strategies are going to be helpful. Really, the only things I want you to enjoy the break with your family, but the only things that you want to continue practicing with your Rockstar over break would include basic fact fluency, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and reading. Those are 2 things that have to continuously be practiced. Work on DigitWiz, work on reading things together, newspaper articles, work on reading independently together, have your son or daughter read to you, and those are really the great strategies that you can practice over winter break. Have a wonderful and happy holiday season, and I will see you in 2014. You are the best families in Stafford County.